This is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. What was once Tropical Storm Cristobal is now hitting parts of the Midwest, including Wisconsin.
The storm has already produced a lot of rain. We have team coverage tonight. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti in the Weather Center, and Madeline O'Neill is following any potential for flooding. Let's go to Gary first with what we can expect for the rest of tonight and into tomorrow morning. Gary.
Well, the good news is the storm system has actually accelerated a little bit and is moving out just a little faster than expected. Notice most of the persistent rains now moving north of Wisconsin Dells, just a few showers north and east of Madison, and south of Madison. A lot of the rain has ended. A wider view shows severe thunderstorms out to the west in Iowa and parts of Missouri and Kansas. Those will weaken before they reach us. We'll see the chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. But right now, the flash flood watch has been canceled for areas west of Dane County. It still remains in effect until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning for Juneau and Adams counties, although that could be canceled early. High temperature day in Madison hit 85s. The humidity levels soared ahead of the storm, and right now temperatures are in the lower to middle 70s. Madison right now at 73 degrees, but look at the dew point temperature, 72. It's tropical moisture that storm has brought in, and also some strong winds. Monroe seeing winds gusting to 43 miles per hour right now. Wind advisory east of Dane County has been extended now until 4 a.m. So overnight, look for showers and showers to come to an end. Then we'll see some sunshine to start the day tomorrow. Some showers and isolated thunderstorms developing tomorrow afternoon. High temperature of 76 about midday, and then temperatures cooling off late in the day. That will lead to cooler and drier weather for the end of the week. I'll have more details on weather in a few minutes.
Okay, Gary, thanks. So that's good news as far as flooding is concerned. Maddie O'Neill's been in Sauk County today, where they're keeping an eye out for potential flooding.
She joins us live from Spring Green, where there is currently a flash flood watch. Maddie?
Well, guys, as you heard Gary said, it sounds like that flash flood watch has ended. That's what we're seeing out here. It's mainly dry, just a few sprinkles, so it kind of sounds like we lucked out there. Sauk County emergency officials had been warning residents to make sure to be prepared if they live in low-lying areas or in places that are prone to flooding. Now, these rains we saw starting early in the afternoon are remnants of Tropical Storm Cristobal. Of course, that's something rare here in Wisconsin, according to the National Weather Service.
So that is actually pretty rare. So looking back at historical records, only 3 other remnants of hurricanes have crossed through Wisconsin.
The National Weather Service tells me rivers in Wisconsin are actually fairly low, and most aren't really at risk of going into moderate flood stage. Now, they told me earlier there was a chance for high-speed winds up to 50 miles per hour in the viewing area, as Gary mentioned, mainly to the east, along with a slight risk for tornadoes. Of course, looks like we may have lucked out at least west of Madison here in Sauk County, as well as in Iowa and Lafayette counties, but it's something we're keeping an eye on.
And when you're away from your TV, you can still get the latest weather forecast and interactive radar information on the go. Download our free Channel 3000 weather app. It is available now in your app store of choice. George Floyd was laid to rest today next to his mom in Houston, Texas. Family and friends gathered to pay a final tribute as protests for police reform in his memory continue. A horse and carriage carried his body to its final resting place. During today's service, the Reverend Al Sharpton delivered the eulogy. Floyd's death in Minneapolis, where a police officer knelt on his neck for nearly 9 minutes, has inspired a nationwide movement against racial injustice. But today in Houston, it was a time for reflection.
And Governor Tony Evers says the Wisconsin National Guard has concluded its mission. It will no longer be assisting during protests. In coordination with local leaders, nearly 1,500 troops mobilized over the past week. The governor says he thanked Guard members for their help and said this is a watershed moment for our nation, one that requires everyone being willing to come together. And protests did continue today around the country, including Hollywood, Detroit, and New York City. Hundreds of demonstrators there walked across the Brooklyn Bridge, shutting down Manhattan-bound traffic for several hours. The Madison Finance Committee has delayed a vote about bringing in a new independent police auditor. It has been moved to the committee's next meeting in July. Funding for the position has already been approved, but many specifics, including the auditor's responsibilities, are still being worked out. An ad hoc committee recommended the position after the shooting death of Tony Robinson years ago.
What we are experiencing now is a part of history, and a Wisconsin museum wants to make sure it is preserved. The Neville Public Museum in Green Bay is asking protesters to donate some of those items they marched with to help document living history. The museum's executive director says it's an opportunity to document the history happening right before our eyes.
Sometimes history gives us, the past to reflect on so we can, modify our future, adjust our future. But really what's happening right now, it's a turning point in our lives, and it's an opportunity.
Lemke is asking protesters to help by donating homemade signs, T-shirts, photographs, even face masks. She says active collecting helps tell a more complete story. The items the museum collects will be documented and stored for future displays.
The yeas are 98, the nays are 0, and the historic nomination of General Charles Q. Brown, Jr. as the United States Air Force Chief of Staff is confirmed.
An historic day for the armed forces. For the first time, a black man will serve as the service chief of the U.S. military. Brown was commissioned as an Air Force officer back in 1984, an F-16 fighter pilot and instructor who has notched more than 2,900 flying hours and 130 combat hours. He has served in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. The United States Navy is working to ban the Confederate battle flag from all public spaces on naval installations, ships, and aircraft. The move follows the Marine Corps ordering the removal of the Confederate flag from all of its installations, including prohibiting depicting the flag on mugs and car bumpers.
President Trump today tweeted support for a conspiracy theory about an elderly protester injured by Buffalo police. This incident happened on Thursday. You can see police shove 75-year-old Martin Gugino. He hit his head on the ground and immediately began bleeding. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. President Trump today tweeted support for a conspiracy theory about what happened. Quote, Buffalo protesters shoved by police could be an Antifa provocateur. 75-year-old Martin Gugino was pushed away after appearing to scan police communications in order to black out the equipment. I watched. He fell harder than was pushed, was aiming scanner, could be a setup. The governor of New York called out the president for the comment.
How reckless, how irresponsible, how mean, how crude. I mean, if there was ever a reprehensible, dumb comment, and from the President of the United States.
Gugino's lawyer says he is still hospitalized tonight. 2 officers involved in the incident have been suspended, and more than 50 others resigned in support of those 2.
The percentage of new positive COVID-19 tests in Wisconsin has hit a new low. Over the last 24 hours, the Department of Health Services says 1.9% of tests came back positive. DHS says the state's testing capacity is also on the rise. There are now 62 active labs capable of running more than 15,000 tests a day. There were more than 270 new cases reported today. Health experts are clarifying a statement from the World Health Organization yesterday. It said it is rare for an asymptomatic patient to transmit the virus. But today, the WHO says that was a misunderstanding. That is not the case. And UW doctors we spoke with today stressed it's still just as important to wear a mask and practice social distancing when out in public.
3 weeks ago, Governor Evers announced the We're All In initiative to help local businesses bounce back from the pandemic. It's $75 million in funding from the Federal CARES Act that will be given out through grants to 30,000 small businesses. Just announced today, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation says the application period for that will open on Monday, June 15th at 8 a.m. Businesses will have a full week to apply, ending on June 21st. Milwaukee County issued a universal face mask policy today. Face masks are now required to be worn at all times by employees, contractors, vendors, volunteers, service users, and the general public entering county facilities and grounds. Face masks are not required, but highly recommended at the airport, on buses, and at outdoor park spaces. Yesterday, we told you about Baraboo not canceling its Independence Day fireworks show. Tonight, Portage is doing the same. The Chamber of Commerce says the festival foods fireworks celebration will be held on Saturday, June 27th at a new location on the city's north side. The fireworks will now be launched at an alternate site located off Gunderson Drive. The show will start at 9:30.
In Idaho tonight, there could be a major break in the case of 2 missing children who haven't been seen in public for nearly 9 months. Their stepfather now in custody after investigators made a grisly discovery on his property. Jonathan Vigliotti has been following the case and has the startling new developments.
Tonight, Chad Daybell taken away in handcuffs. Investigators digging in his backyard. The latest twist in a months-long search for 8-year-old JJ and 17-year-old Tylee.
The investigators and detectives have recovered what's believed to be human remains that are not identified at this time.
Rexburg police say those human remains are now being analyzed. CBS News has learned 20 members of the FBI are now scouring the property. It's the second search of his Idaho home. The stunning developments happening more than 3 months after Daybell's wife, Lori Vallow, was arrested for defying a court order to prove her kids were alive. These are the last images of JJ, who disappeared on September 23rd. His sister Tylee last seen earlier that month in Yellowstone National Park. Vallow and Daybell married in November, shortly after Daybell's then-wife Tammy suddenly died. Her death is under investigation. The newlyweds moved to Hawaii without the children. Vallow was extradited to Idaho in March. Police confirmed today's search warrant pertains to the disappearance of the 2 kids and that charges against Daybell are pending. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News.
And still to come tonight, your full forecast, including how long we can expect the rain to keep falling.
But first, the coronavirus has many Americans rethinking how to take their vacations. How the pandemic has led to a sharp rise in RV sales. That's next.
Hi, I'm Travis Ganser. Looking to update your bath, shower, or your entire bathroom? Ganser is the answer with Bath Creations by Ganser Company.
Schedule your free in-home consultation or visit our beautiful showroom on the Beltline.
A local family-owned business of 4 generations.
Fleet Farm has what dads want for Father's Day, whether it's fishing at the crack of dawn or fixing favorites on the grill. Fleet Farm has big savings on things like men's Carhartt Force t-shirts, 25% off our low fleet price. A Traeger Heartland pellet grill and smoker, $399.99. Plus, buy a $100 Fleet Farm gift card in store for Dad. Get a $10 gift card free. There's a reason people say, if Fleet Farm doesn't have it, you don't need it. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
This isn't a small business opening. You already had one of those. It's a reopening. Take 2. And just in time. Because right now, people need coffee that tastes like coffee. And hair that doesn't look like that. They need someone who knows where those numbers actually go. They need you and everything that made your business great from your first day one. Yeah, we've been knocked back on our heels, and it took a minute, but it still says florist, or repairs, or plumber over that door. And there are still customers who can't wait to walk through it. That light at the end of the tunnel, it's a workout that doesn't involve 2 bags of flour. It's a 20-foot-tall inflatable guy saying, come on by. It's you and your small business, turning your community and the country around. One appointment, one customer, one thank you at a time. Small business is coming back. And Spectrum Business is giving every new customer 1 free month of Spectrum Business services to make sure it does. We're here for you because you're here for all of us.
Ganser Company is proud to introduce 80 years in 80 minutes. We give you the skinny in 80 minutes to make an educated decision.
Infinity Windows from Marvin offer a lifetime warranty.
Remember, 80 years in 80 minutes from a local family business of 4 generations.
Hi, everyone. The rain is clearing out as we approach the weekend, and we've got some good news for those of you wanting to get the family outside. We'll tell you where you can go camping across the state as we move closer to reopening Wisconsin, starting at 4:30 Wednesday.
News 3 Now kicks off its 2-night salute to the class of 2020 with a very special half hour, sharing unique and touching ways area schools are celebrating their graduates and retiring staff. Join us Friday at 6:30 on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic has forced many Americans to rethink their vacations.
Many are now turning to RVs so they can safely hit the open road. At Neil's RV in Los Angeles, sales are skyrocketing at a rate rarely seen before. Sales manager Garrett Conley says in just 10 days, his team sold the amount of RVs they'd typically sell in 3 months. Most of them to first-time buyers with coronavirus concerns.
We've had customers that realize it's time for us to own one. We don't know how long we might be doing these self-quarantining for or how long we'll be vacationing in this way for, so I might as well own one and do it in my leisure.
The pandemic has many Americans looking for a new way to travel, and the allure of what's essentially a self-contained hotel room on wheels is leading new customers to RVs. Some are using the vehicles as a way to safely quarantine away from home. Others see an alternative to traditional vacation plans. It's not only sales seeing a spike, but rentals as well.
U.S. crude topped $40 a barrel this week. That wouldn't typically be notable, but right now that marks an $80 leap from its unprecedented trip below zero just 7 weeks ago when it hit a low of negative $40 a barrel. That was April 20th. The remarkable oil recovery is being driven by hopes of a sharp rebound in the world economy. The Verona city administrator confirms to News 3 Now Costco has submitted a plan for a brand new store in the city. It will be located at the corner of Highways M and Old PB. If passed, construction scheduled to start in the fall of 2021 or 22. The store would likely open the following summer.
And here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with a look at our first warn forecast. Gary.
Well, the latest update is what was once tropical depression Cristobal is now considered post-tropical. It's no longer with tropical characteristics. But the center of circulation is located right about over Reedsburg. Their barometric pressure is 29.18 inches, very low for the month of June. Madison right now has our pressure at 29.20 inches, and that is a record for the month of June for the lowest air pressure. You typically see pressures like that in the middle of winter storm systems, but the circulation center very close to Madison right now. Rainfall amounts, we were very lucky because not far out to the west, across Iowa and Minnesota, the amounts were very heavy. Olean, Iowa, 5 1/4 inches. Winona, Minnesota, over 4 3/4 inches. Iowa City, Iowa, over 4 1/2 inches of rain. Getting into Wisconsin, Platteville checked in at 2.15 inches. Mineral Point, 1.27. And it was still raining when some of these observations were taken, so those amounts could go up a little bit. New Glarus, just shy of an inch of rain, but the fast movement of Cristobal actually helped to limit the rainfall amounts over southern and eastern Wisconsin. Notice out to the west, a swath of about 2 to 5 inches of rain through eastern Iowa into southeastern Minnesota, about 1 to 2 inches over far western Wisconsin, and generally about an inch or less from Madison off toward the east. Across southern Wisconsin, you can see those amounts toward Prairie du Chien, over 2 inches there, a couple of inches up into Vernon County and up into the La Crosse area. But east of Madison, for the most part, the showers are fast moving. They didn't drop as much rain there. And on high resolution Doppler radar, you can see the showers now lifting to the north. Most of the rain has ended, at least for the time being, south of Madison, just some light showers north of town. Not seeing any lightning from that rain either. Farther out to the west, severe thunderstorms have been moving out of Iowa and Nebraska into parts of southwestern Minnesota, but there's a break. Those storms will weaken. We could see a shower or thunderstorm from that batch of activity later on tomorrow afternoon. So that could add additional rainfall totals. Otherwise, as we take a look at high temperatures today, they were in the mid-80s before the storms reached us. But what was more important was the humidity levels were much higher than they were yesterday. As Cristobal's remnants head up to the north, the next weather system has a cold front associated with it. That's what's triggering the thunderstorms out to the west. The two will eventually combine, and the winds will actually increase as the whole storm system lifts up into Canada. Even though it takes on extratropical characteristics, the differences in temperature and pressure will cause the winds to actually increase. But right now, again, that low pressure system, what's left of Cristobal right over southern Wisconsin, out to the west, a couple of cold fronts rotating around that low pressure system, and then cooler weather is across western Minnesota. So notice the difference in temperatures. Right now, still in the 70s with high humidity here, but out to the west, you can see 50s and 60s, and the dew point temperature still in the lower 70s here. Those dew points will drop off significantly later tomorrow afternoon. For tomorrow, look for a high of 76 degrees. We may start out with some sunshine in the morning and then see a shower or thunderstorm chance in the afternoon. So the rain moves to the north tonight. Things relatively quiet overnight with just a chance for a shower. Then as we head into tomorrow afternoon, you can see showers and a few thunderstorms developing. Those should move out later tomorrow night. And then Thursday, just a slight chance for a shower during the day. Otherwise, high temperatures will reach the middle 70s. As we check out the 7 to 10 day forecast, we still have an alert day in the forecast for tomorrow for the potential for any additional rainfall that could cause problems tomorrow afternoon. But then look for a period of dry weather, almost a 10-day period of that, with temperatures in the 70s through the weekend, and then warming up well into the 80s for the end of next week. But the humidity levels should stay low, so that's good news for those who've gotten a couple of inches of rain and need some time to dry out.
Yeah, tropical depression moving through Wisconsin.
If it was considered a tropical depression when it moved into Wisconsin about 7 o'clock tonight, that'd be the first time that's ever happened in Wisconsin's history.
That is something. A milestone for Gary Canalti.
Put it in the record book.
Thanks, Gary. Just heading sports. The date has been set for the 2020 edition of the I-94 rivalry when the Badgers will tip off against Charlotte's Golden Eagles for state bragging rights. Zach's next with sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
My wife has always been there for me, 46 years. But now it's my turn to take care of the love of my life. I know a Grace will help me take the very best care of her.
Just call. A Grace will help.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything right now at Menards. Menards has what you need to start and finish your home improvement projects. Plus, you'll save 11% on all of it. Menards also offers contactless pickup. Order and pay for your items online and have one of our team members load your order into your vehicle with zero contact. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Just when the temp goes crazy, there's a ceiling fan sale at Madison Lighting. Cool your family room with a fan's gentle breeze and save money on your energy bill. Contemporary to farmhouse, Madison Lighting has hundreds of fans to choose from, with lots in stock right now. Add a fan in your bedroom and save. It's whisper quiet. And if you're working from home, save more during the ceiling fan sale at Madison Lighting. But hurry, sale ends June 20th.
While there's no instruction manual for what we're all going through now, there is Christian and Natalie and all our other associates at Pick and Save, working with one of the country's biggest supply chains for the Kroger family of brands, keeping our promise that our shelves will be continually stocked and that you'll always have access to the things you need. Because together, we've got you covered. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With special offers like 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Contact your Ford dealer or stop by today.
Get more help with your laundry at the laundry cleanup sale now at the Brothers Maine. Save time and money with the latest in laundry from Whirlpool, Maytag, and Amana with 0% financing for up to 18 months. Get even more help with free delivery on washer-dryer pairs and a risk-free 30-day price and satisfaction guarantee. That's why we're the More Store. It's the laundry cleanup sale with more selection, more savings, and more help with your laundry. Only at the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
I love to equal the playing field. I love to help people and allow them to feel like they are powerful instead of powerless. We're with our clients every step of the way.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
It's dubbed as the I-94 rivalry, and the 2020 edition is now officially on the calendar. Wisconsin will take on Marquette in Milwaukee on Saturday, December 5th. Last year went the way of the Badgers with a 16-point win at the Cole. But the last 10 meetings have been dead even. 5 wins for Marquette, 5 wins for Wisconsin.
Bucky leads the all-time series 68-58. No tip time has been set just yet. With Brian Bulaga gone to the Chargers, there's a pretty big void to fill in terms of leadership for the Packers offensive line unit. The next guy in to take the reins, David Bakhtiari. As the elder statesman of the room, he knows guys will look up to him for guidance. So what's going to change for one of the top left tackles in the league in his new leadership role? Well, not much.
I don't know, I guess I get to do more than I want, and no one can tell me what to do. I think I'll keep how I've always kind of my way of how I've led, and I don't think there is one right way or wrong way. I think the best way to lead is through your own personality, because the way that you choose to lead that's genuine comes across and gets absorbed, I think, the best.
For entertainment purposes only, Sportsbook USA released their updated odds to win the college football playoff, and the Badgers are kind of in the thick of things. Wisconsin sits at 50-1 with Michigan, while Clemson and Ohio State are the favorites to win it all this season. Notre Dame enters 30-1. And speaking of the Fighting Irish, the saga continues on where the Wisconsin-Notre Dame football game will be played this fall. There were rumors last week that the game will be moved to South Bend. Over the weekend, Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy said nothing's changed, it's still at Lambeau. Today, Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly said they're exploring moving games from NFL stadiums back on campus. This is fun, right? And NASCAR is bringing fans back to the track. Starting this Sunday in Florida, 1,000 service members will be able to take in the Cup Series race from the grandstands. Then on June 21st at Talladega, 5,000 fans will be allowed in. They'll be screened before entering, required to wear a mask, and have to sit 6 feet apart from each other. We'll be right back.
Said, let's go win 30 more. He's up to 32.
When America needed us to build, we built. Masks, ventilators, shields. When frontliners needed support, Ford dealers answered. And now we're open and ready to serve you. With special offers like 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Stop by a Ford dealership or go online. We've made it safer to shop, easier to buy. Now get 0% financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Contact your Ford dealer or stop by today.
We asked real customers what they really love about Spectrum Internet and TV.
Spectrum Internet has the fastest speeds for everything I do.
There is no turning wheel. It's immediate.
Spectrum's the fastest. Bam.
Get the fastest download speeds with the most reliable performance with Spectrum Internet, delivering starting speeds of 200 megabits. That's more than enough for all your devices for $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
I can't get over how much on-demand Spectrum has. I can literally watch a new movie every night.
I got all my shows, and he's got all his shows.
With the Spectrum TV app, I can watch live TV anywhere. It's perfect.
Add Spectrum TV and enjoy more free HD and more free on demand. Plus, use the Spectrum TV app to watch live TV on the go, all from $44.99 a month. Call 833-906-4499.
The fact that they don't have contracts, that says a lot about their service.
Get Spectrum Internet and TV from $44.99 a month each with no contracts. Install Spectrum services yourself. Get a self-installation kit shipped right to your home. Call 833-906-4499.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites, and always a smile.
Now get your groceries even faster with Hy-Vee Aisles Online same-day pickup. Just choose the Get It Faster option and pick up your groceries in as little as 2 hours. Plus, now we've added more time slots so you can get your groceries when you need them. You'll find the freshest items, favorite brands, and the same great deals as in-store. Get free pickup on orders over $30 and no contact pickup and delivery. Download the Hy-Vee Grocery app today and pick up groceries from Hy-Vee in as little as 2 hours.
How to get more out of your Wisconsin Dells vacation. Ride more rides, slide more slides, maybe even go for a train ride. Have more fun than a barrel of monkeys. Bite off more than you can chew. Who says less is more? More like more is more. Now that's more like it. Hey, you're getting more than you bargained for. All the more reason to do a little more. Need I say more? Wisconsin Dells. That's more like it. Go to wisdells.com and start planning your trip to the water park capital of the world today.
Download the Channel 3000 app today. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Hey, class of 2020, I'm Anthony Mason. Congratulations from everyone here at CBS this morning. I know this has proven to be a challenging year, but don't let it dim your light. You've accomplished so much already, and we can't wait to see you overcome any obstacles that may lie ahead. You're going to lead us into the future. You've made it this far. Best of luck on the road ahead.
And we want to remind everyone, News 3 Now and WISC TV are also paying tribute to the class of 2020 this week. Friday and Saturday evenings, we will air virtual graduation ceremonies for all of Madison's public high schools. We'll also air a special broadcast at 6:30 Friday evening to honor staff members who are retiring. There's more information at channel3000.com.
And let's go to Gary one last time.
Well, the bulk of the rain now lifting north of Madison, so just a few showers left south of town. Because of that, the National Weather Service has canceled the flash flood watch south of the Dells, continues north of the Dells until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wind advisory has actually been extended until 4 a.m. for areas east of Dane County for strong wind gusts of 40 to 45 miles per hour. High tomorrow 76 and some afternoon thunderstorms. Cooler weather for the weekend and a big warm-up next week.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Now, a WISC TV editorial with editorial director Neil Heinen.
Perhaps the most surprising and reassuring element of Sunday's protest downtown, organized by the African American Council of Churches, was the size of the turnout. The various faith communities represented drew several thousand participants in a peaceful but powerful display of solidarity protesting police killings of black men. One of the things it illustrated for us was the value in multiple entry points for demanding justice and equity for African Americans, and that's important. There's a need for expressions of anger and grief. There's a need for a sense of urgency. There's a need for multi-generational and multicultural participation in the movement. There is a requirement for white voices and white action. Faith communities and their traditions of nonviolence offered another avenue for people more inclined to that manner of activism to participate in the movement. And for that, we are grateful to faith community leaders and organizers.